All right, Warzone podcast.
Yes, sir.
It's been an interesting week. By the way, apologies for everybody that all five of you that watches, you know what I mean, that listen.
We
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
y'all.
Yeah, we've been having some technical difficulties, like exporting, or actually YouTube's just been acting weird. Like it's just been canceling the process every time I got upload. But anyway, you know what I mean? We should have two of them up. So you'll probably catch the other one. We talk about Shaq and Akeem. We get into a lot of fun stuff. We low-key rehashed the 2011 Mavs finals, but it's all fun. It's all fun arguments. Yeah, but this one, like, we got a few topics that we wanted to hit. The one right now that everybody's talking about is basically Kyrie Irving. So apparently right now he doesn't think, the season should be played, or he thinks like the players should boycott so they don't undermine the protests, which is pretty interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because
situation too.
I mean, look, he's not the only one, man. I think we call it Dwight Howard, you know what I mean, who's also saying the same thing. And look, Dwight could win a ring. Like, you want to talk about risking it all? Like, he's somebody who can win a ring this year.
Yeah, but if he stay on that same LA team, he could win that ring next year. He ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah, but man. See, that's the thing though. Like, another year on LeBron's body.
Yeah, but you gotta think about it all the time that they've just taken off. LeBron's been chilling.
Here's the thing though, dude. Here's the problem. All right, it's not gonna be the same like field that you're going up against, right? Like, their biggest threat is the Clippers, right? Like, if they get past the Clippers, I feel like everybody thinks that they're going to beat the Bucks. But next year, not only that, the Clippers with more chemistry, that's going to be a big problem. You're going to have the Nets with Kyrie, KD, Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert coming. And that looks like it's going to be the finals. And then, when Giannis leaves the Bucks and goes to like Miami or something, right? And then you have the Warriors.
He leaves.
If he probably will. And then you have the Warriors who are coming back with, Andrew Wiggins, who's playing a better Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Essentially 2016 Warriors, like, you know what I mean, remix.
Mm-hmm. But they ain't got that bench though. That bench was key in their first run.
Yeah, but I feel like that bench is gonna, some of the players that they got on there is gonna come through for them.
We'll see. I still think if LA beats the Clippers, I really think it's LA type of Western Conference. I don't.
Yeah, but I just think like the field is going to be so.
It's going to be wide.
Yeah,
but
man.
I still don't think. I'm telling you, you take KD off them Warriors. It's a different team.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm not saying that like they'll like. Here's the problem: it's attrition at this point, right? Like, once you. All right, let's put it this way: you have the Mavericks next year are going to be really good because now Kristaps and Luka are going to have some time together, right? You know what I mean? You might have a really tough 8 seed next year with the Pelicans, assuming Brandon Ingram stays, right? Because you're going to have a 3-headed monster. Mind you, Lonzo's his last couple games, he's been, 21, 8, and 8. And he can shoot. He's shooting now. He's shooting like he was in college almost.
I can't believe the Western Conference seems like it's about to revert back to how it was. Like, I remember those days where the Western Conference, it was really like 1 or 2 games between almost everybody. Yeah. Like, you go on a 2-game losing streak, you could drop from 2nd to 8th, just like that. Like, the West used to be so ridiculous.
So, I mean, but you got to ask yourself this, right? All right, so you have them. You have the Rockets. And again, I'm not saying that what I'm saying is that it's just attrition at this point. So what if you play against... All right, what if you go against the Pelicans? Or maybe, let's say the Mavericks somehow end up like a 7 seed, right? Like they are this year. You get a 7 seed, right? And, the Lakers are like the 2 seed. And they got to play them. Then the next series after that, they got to play the fucking Rockets. or they got to play, I don't know, Denver. You know what I mean? Then the next series they're going up against, the Clippers. Then the next one they got to go against.
I know you're talking about wear and tear, but
dog, man,
I don't know.
You're talking about dude. There's potentially them playing 20. What is it? It's 4. What is this? 4 series, 4 times. So there's a potential that they're going to be playing like 28 games. Because I can't see them sweeping anybody but the Pelicans. And even now, when I feel like it's going to be a hard out anyway. Like it's going to be a hard 4, or a gentleman's sweep, and they're going to like fight for that last 5, that 5th one. You know what I mean? I feel like those kids are going to give them a little bit of a fight. They're going to get knocked off, but they're going to give them a fight. I think the real issue is when you go up against the Rockets, or they could go against Golden State, who has championship.
Really don't believe Houston's going to be a problem.
No, I don't think Houston's going to be a problem, but I think they're not going to be. You're not sweeping Houston.
I'm not going to sweep them.
Exactly.
Their rebounding is going to get. They're going to get murdered on the board. Not even killed. Murdered on the boards. Like, but the best big you got is Tyson Chandler going against AD. I mean, you could say shit. He's basically a JaVale at this point.
Well, here's the problem though. You're not going to be able to play Dwight, and AD is going to be your 4 or your 5. That might be one of those series that you start Kuzma, because you can't possibly have Dwight Howard out there, because he's not going to be doing closeouts on the wings.
It all depends.
With Westbrook driving, you can't.
Like if they put Chandler out there, throw Dwight in the game.
They're not putting Chandler.
If they got Chandler gonna get burned, he definitely gonna get burned.
No, he'll get like a couple minutes, but he'll give like PJ Tucker some rest, but he's not gonna get. He's not gonna get. I don't think he's gonna get.
I'm telling you, if they run PJ Tucker at the center the entire game, the entire series, it's gonna be. It could be a sweep. I cannot lie.
No.
Have a potential.
Remember we were talking about like with Shaq, right? Like, oh, well, punish them for having a big guy like that, right? I'm not saying they'll win, but I'm saying if there's going to be 2 games where Russ and James Harden are going to blow out, right? They're just going to go in, right? They're just going to have one of those blowout. Well, most likely Russ, right? And James if he shows up. But like, they're going to have one of those games where they just go in.
I know maybe that'll happen for both.
That's what I'm saying.
But I see more along the lines of one of them being on point and then the other one's not on point. That's kind of how I kind of see it.
The biggest problem that you guys have is the biggest problem that the Lakers have when they're going up against them is that they don't have the perimeter defenders. Like the Clippers are a terrible matchup for Houston, right? Like, because they just have excellent perimeter defenders, right? They have the best perimeter defense probably in the league. With those 3 guys, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's anyone better than having Kawhi, Paul George, and Pat Bev, right? Like, that's a pretty devastating, you know what I mean, perimeter defense. So, Lakers don't have that. Like, Like, and dude, you can say whatever you want. Like, I'm PJ Tucker. Like, you know what I mean? You be like, oh yeah, Dwight could protect the rim. Well, who's gonna guard that other guy? Like, who's he coming off of? Because like Avery Bradley can't stand in front of no damn Russell Westbrook. Nobody. They ain't got nobody that can stand in front of Russell Westbrook. The best person you could hopefully put in front of him, and maybe veteran savvy and championship experience. And that's the problem though. Like, Russ has been in title games. He's been in big games, so I'm not worried about him. I know what he's gonna do, and this is gonna be the first time where he has a team that looks like they're made like where it would make sense around them, right? Where there's a bunch of shooters that's going to spread the floor out, and it's basically going to force whoever's in front of them to have to guard them one-on-one. And then everyone's just going to have to make super smart decisions like, all right, well, and you can make the passing really simple for Russ. You can be like, hey, Russ, I want you to blast past this guy. Whoever comes to help, throw it behind him. There you go. Throw it behind him, because you're going to have a shooter waiting for you. And then shooter, if you're not wide open, swing it when the guy when we call it the help man comes to close out on you, and then we'll just play it like the Spurs. Basically, Russ could be your Manu Ginobili. Just running like that, man. Like, all right, dive and kick, and then just swing from there. I don't think the Lakers can. I still say the Lakers win. Obviously, the Lakers win in like 6 or 7, but they're not. That's not going to be a cakewalk. The Clippers, on the other hand, that's going to be a cakewalk because they have the people who can just like they can just switch all night.
The Houston series is always going to be a what if for me because I don't know who's going to show up.
I know who's going to show up.
So let's put it this way: I know they're going to lose. I just don't know by how many games or exactly the amount of games because, like I
know who's going to show up. I know Russ is showing up.
Yeah, of course you're going to say Russ is going to show up. That's your boy.
But I've never not seen him show up, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I've never had you can always say two things, right? Russ is going to do some dumb shit like, oh, man, why did he have to take that shot? Why is he doing this? But nothing changes. He's the exact same person. Like throughout the series, like what you can count on in a regular season game is what you can count on in a playoff game, right? And that's all you can ask for. Hey, if you're great in the regular season, be great in the playoffs. And he is. Problem is, what's next to him? Like, you know what I mean? That's when shit starts going crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And to be fair, like again, last year, I know everybody wants to clown on him about the Dame Lillard thing, but like, dog, they were really injured. Like, dude, I think he had a torn labrum and like a broken finger or something like that. That's what Russ had in that series when he was playing against Dame in that Portland series. And then Paul George had like those like 2 shoulders that he couldn't even lift his arm up straight or something like that. It was like nuts. And they both had to get surgery on both. He had to get surgery on both his shoulders. And Russ was getting like basically
got something wrong with his ass now.
Huh?
Paul George always got something wrong with his ass now.
That is true.
It's sad.
But that injury is what like kept him out from early this season because he had to get that surgery. But I'm saying that's because of what happened last year in the play, like because he was hurt throughout the whole season. Remember, he was playing. He was possibly going to be an MVP last year. Like he was possibly going to be MVP, and then his shoulders went in on him, and then they had to.
You talking about that season where he averaged 28?
Yeah, Paul George, the last season with OKC.
Yeah, saying he wasn't going to win MVP,
but he was going to be
he had a
top
shot.
2. Yeah, I think if OKC ended up with like the 2nd seed, I think he had a really good chance of getting it. I think he had a really, really good chance of getting it. If he led OKC to a 2nd seed, Giannis would. You could say Giannis.
What seed were they that year?
They ended up dropping because he got hurt. Roberson got hurt. So I think they ended up dropping to like the 6th seed or something like that, or the 5th seed, somewhere around there.
I'm about to say that was probably his one and only shot.
Yeah, but he got hurt though. Like that's what I'm saying though. Like he just got injured, man. Like that's like OKC's cursed. I feel like it's just because they basically stole the Thunder from Seattle. So like they just been cursed, man. Like they just nothing good can happen. Like you know what I mean?
I'm fine with that happening until somebody gets the team back in Seattle. That Seattle team was fire. I mean, keep OKC. You can keep OKC. I like OKC.
The problem is OKC is just really well run as far as like how they at talent acquisition, like how they go get talent and shit like that. They're just really, really good at doing it. You know what I mean? They're just not. How did we get to this topic? We were supposed to be talking about something else. But
always happens.
Yeah, it always happens. But no. But to be fair though, like I think like I don't know how I just don't know how the Lakers would defend. They like again they have to run AD at the 5. He's their best defender, and he's their best player. Like there's for 1A, right? They're 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call it, on their team. So you got to keep him on there. But him at the 5, I think, neutralizes everything they're trying to do because then you're gonna have wings. You know what I mean? But the problem is again, you know what I mean? I guess you just put like LeBron on PJ Tucker or some shit like that, or Covington, like one of those 2 guys. You know what I mean? But they just don't. Who the fuck is guarding Harden and what like who? Because that's what they're trying
to see me. I see me personally. I'm taking Danny Green and I'm gonna put him on hard. I'll be like, I just want you to play up. Just play the 3. We got you if he drives. We have you. Just rotate over. That's all you got to do. We got you if he drives. Play up on him. Russ, play back. That person that's playing back on Russ, you the person that's gonna come and help. We gonna make Russ shoot. Russ is gonna shoot. If he come in there and try to drive, take that charge.
That's easier said than done.
Of course, it's always easier said than done.
Yeah, because I feel like teams definitely try to make Russ shoot now, but because now the court is spread out, like it just doesn't matter. Because now that like, look, Russ is actually pretty fucking efficient from the elbows. That's like actually, I remember they were doing the spotlights, whatever. He's actually up there as one of the most efficient people on from the elbows with those elbow jumpers. So if you sink back too much, he's like 47% or some shit like that, dude, from there.
I figured.
So if he's just dropping those all day, and he's basically him just coming in, and then like that's what I'm talking about. Like he himself makes that team so much more difficult to defend because like he can just penetrate, and you have no one can help. You know what I mean? I've always said this is what made Kobe so dangerous when he was with Shaq, right? He's like, these are nasty one-on-one players. You know what I mean? That are forcing you to go one-on-one because Shaq's on the team.
See, the way you game plan is different for me. See, yes, he can drive, but for me, if there's somebody that's gonna have to beat me on that team, it better be PJ Tucker. You best believe if Russ is driving, I'm leaving PJ. Yeah, PJ can hit the 3, yes. But PJ's not gonna beat me all game with 3s. I put that on everything.
Here's the fun.
Not beating.
I'm not saying he's gonna beat you with 3s, but I'm gonna tell you right now. After like he drains the 5th or 6th 3, you're gonna
imagine thinking that's gonna happen every game.
Oh no. But like I forgot. I gotta look at that spotlight again. But I forgot there was someone. I want to think if it was him who was the most efficient from the right corner. Yeah. So
I still don't believe. I don't care how efficient PJ Tucker is for the 3. I just don't believe he's gonna beat me from 3. I don't think he's gonna beat me and my entire team. I don't.
No, I don't either. But I'm not saying that. But he's not the only one. Though.
Yeah, he's not the only one, but he's the one that I'm making. I'm forcing him to do it.
Yeah,
if you help on Russ and nobody else moves away from their man, it's just PJ. He has to make that decision. LeBron is coming back once PJ has the ball, but PJ better shoot it. He better shoot it. He better drive it. He's going to have to make a quick decision because LeBron is going to rotate back over from helping on Russ. Russ is going to pass. He's going to make the smart pass. But what is PJ going to do with the ball? I'm going to make PJ make the decisions all series.
I think what's going to happen...
it's not hard to do either. I mean,
no. I mean,
if you want to say it's easier said than done, but I mean, come on, if you help on Russ, the logical play is to give the ball to PJ.
Here's what I'm trying to understand now. Because I'm doing the geography of the court.
Mm-hmm.
So if PJ's on like the right or left corners, right, whatever side he's on, and you have Russ driving, and like you're sagging back, and let's say you're coming back, you're getting ready to get into get into the paint, try to set up for a charge possibly, right? There's no way LeBron's helping. You know what I mean? The minute he starts driving, LeBron has to already be like hauling ass over there. And if I'm Russ, I'm just gonna stop and shoot it right there. That's where he's most efficient. I'm gonna shoot it right there.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Like
that's exactly what we want, because if my dude's gonna be sagging off of Russ,
yeah, but you're giving him his. You're literally giving him his best shot, though.
I'm not giving him the midi. That's the thing. I'm not giving him the midi. I'm backing off of him from 3. I'm letting him know he can pull that. But once you start to push in, there is going to be resistance there. You can get by. Yes, I know Russ is going to get by. That's where the defender is going to be waiting.
Yeah,
yes,
so
it's going to be LeBron. LeBron is going to be cheating. Yes, he will be. And LeBron can play passing lanes. LeBron is 6'8" with pretty long arms.
Yeah,
Russ is gonna have to throw a pretty high pass to get it over there to him, and by the time that pass does drop down in his hands, LeBron will remotely be in that area.
I'd still be cautious about that because like
I would. I'm not
yeah,
worried.
no, man, I would because like I don't
PJ's not scoring 30 points to win the game, even if
No,
you're leaving him open.
I'm not thinking PJ Tucker scoring 30 points, but here's the problem. Here's the biggest issue. That starts working, right? Let's say PJ starts draining a couple threes. You know what I mean? Let's say like first quarter he starts off hot, right? Like, you know, Russ is finding him. He drops like 3 threes, right? All right. You're gonna like the bigger issue is gonna happen is that all right, this dude's already getting ready. And that's the worst thing is when role players start getting into rhythm, when it's a role player is gonna have a good night, or they're just in rhythm in general. You know what I mean? Because that's the one detriment that Houston has. That's the reason why I think Russ is best with the ball. Because Russ is at least gonna like find the open man, right? Unless he's gonna go for the layup. But Harden,
I do think Russ is best with the ball. I do agree with you. I'm just letting you know how I would defend it first.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm not saying that it's a bad plan. I'm just saying that there's so many variables to a Russell Westbrook driving. You know what I mean?
I can't let Russ dunk though. I can't let him do it. That's why I said I gotta bring the help. I can't let him dunk that.
Yeah, I know you can't let him do that, but like, man, dude, you're running a gamble there. Because if he gets
shit, I ain't leaving Covington. Hell no, I ain't leaving Covington.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like, if the problem is that if that ball does get to Tucker, and Tucker's hitting like, you know, like what 38 or some shit like that from the wings, or 40% from the wings, if he starts hitting those, you're gonna have a hard night because you're gonna have a fresh Harden second and third quarter. Busting Avery Bradley's ass, dude. Like,
this is where the strategy starts to come into play. I strategize, like I be thinking about all of this stuff, even as we be talking about it. So he's gonna start hitting. So all right, let's say let's say off the first quarter, PJ rips off 4 threes in the first quarter. All right, let's say he's 4 of 6, of course, whatever. Now I'm gonna have to let Russ do his thing a little bit. This is where the strategy comes into play. I'm gonna let Russ do his thing. I'm gonna let him start, you know, I'm gonna let him shoot. He's probably gonna dunk. He's probably gonna get off a couple of points or whatever. I'm gonna let PJ get cold. He ain't gonna touch the ball for a while. He ain't gonna know what it's like to shoot for a while. And then I'm gonna switch it back. And now I'm gonna let PJ shoot again. And now, after you've been sitting there cold, after you were hot for a while, you're gonna start missing. It doesn't happen all the time, but that is something that is possible.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. And then, again, it's a role player, so
I'm gonna just basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna isolate him in the corner or wherever he's at. I'm gonna tell that one person, do not help off PJ. Make sure he has 0 points all quarter. 0 points all quarter. Doesn't even have a real touch.
So so you're just gonna let
I told
Russ...
you, you're gonna have to what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna probably have to help, but this is gonna have to be help in rotation. It's gonna have to be help in quicker rotation. Basically, the second quarter is gonna be more of a back and forth affair.
Yeah, it's gonna. I'm gonna say this though.
See, this is what I'm saying. This is where we take off in the third quarter though, because this is a 4-quarter game. But this is where we take off in the third. See, now after halftime, PJ sat for a while. He hasn't really shot for a while. I mean, he does. He do occasional shoot around before halftime's over or whatever. But in game is completely different. When he and then when we come back in the third quarter, we gotta test his gangster again. We gotta see if he's gonna hit again. Now I'm not gonna lie. If he's hitting again, we are in trouble. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can keep it all the way honest. If he's hitting again, we are in trouble. But it's like you said, it's a hard way to stop that lineup, and it's like that's the only way I feel like you can even have a little bit of success going against it. Because if you don't double on Russ and he's going against somebody, he's faster than everybody. He's gonna dunk it. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah,
so you have to play off of him. It's no choice. He leaves you no choice. He's too fast.
I think all right. So I think in this scenario, there's 2 things you're hoping for, right? And again, I still think the Lakers win this series, right? But there's 2 things you're hoping for. You're hoping for one, PJ Tucker is cold, right?
Yep.
Like that. What you're saying that PJ Tucker just isn't just
Hell
bricking
yeah.
that day, right? Two, you're really hoping Harden is cold, because
Well,
like if you're doubling on Russ,
we have seen the Harden be cold in the playoffs before.
so we seen, yeah, you know, that's all. And I'm telling you right now, if
It's not
Russ,
impossible, but it is a
yo,
thing that can happen.
I feel like if Russ has a reliable teammate that shows up in the playoffs, he's like destined to make it to the Western
To be
Conference
honest,
Finals.
I think if Harden had Russ in place of CP3, he would have beat Golden State.
I'm not sure.
Because that 1 year they had him.
But that was
They
man.
had him.
CP3 is just a better look. You
him.
know how much I love Russ, but CP3 is just like a better decision maker, man. Like he was making really clutch. Like, and first of all, nobody as a point guard is better from the mid range than CP3. So that's where most of his points was coming from. He was picking Golden State apart.
Steve,
you know what I
mean?
mean?
Can make an argument for that.
No, I'm talking about active right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, but he was picking them apart, and he was orchestrating their offense, man. Like that wasn't just a team. Like that wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh, you needed another all-star body. That was the all-star that could take over for you, and I'm glad he did it, because it kind of changed the narrative. Because I do get tired of hearing that, like, you know, Chris Paul's a choker. I know a choke artist when I see one. Chris Paul ain't no choke artist, dude.
Chris Paul is an injury-prone dude.
That's pretty much
it. That's really what his career was. Like, he just kept coming back after injury. He never had one that completely shelved him.
That's what I'm saying. He's the series. He's literally like the real life version of Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. Like that's pretty much that, dude. That's his whole career. It's just, yeah, but this thing about that matchup though, like I don't know what they do, but yeah, but back to what we were saying though, if the Lakers, yeah, dude, I don't know how, like if I'm Dwight Howard, he's risking it all, but I don't think LeBron, this is his best year. This is the year he has to win this year. If he can't win this year, it's going to be really hard for me to believe that he's going to win it again, because everyone's coming back.
Yeah, but
like
I don't know. Back. See, the thing about the Nets is I don't know how good the Nets are going to be, because you know they had limited time with Kyrie already this year. They didn't play with him that much. Kyrie was on the shelf a lot, and then KD was on the shelf a lot too. They have to get that chemistry. They're going to have that first year chemistry problem. They'll probably get it together, but
imagine this.
I don't know when.
They probably trade Dinwiddie, right? And they're gonna get him they're gonna get some really good fucking pieces for him. Like, well, Dinwiddie might be a free agent, right? No, he's not. So they're probably gonna trade him, and they're gonna get some really good pieces. Dinwiddie is going to get them a whole lot of firsts. You know what I mean? He's gonna get them a whole lot of firsts, like first round draft picks and some really good players. If I was them, I'd be, because of that contract, dude. If I was Miami, I'd be looking for him super hard. I'd be trying to get him real bad. Because with that, he's on a bad contract. He's on a low contract, right? You know you're gonna have to pay him, right? But here's the thing: if you can get Giannis, if you can use him as bait, like, yo, we can get Giannis with you. You know what I mean? Or even if you don't get Giannis, imagine if you get like Dinwiddie and then you get Brandon Ingram. You know what I mean? You'd have to pay Brandon Ingram. You know what I mean? So you basically take yourself out of the running for Giannis. But you'd have Dinwiddie, and that would be your your core pieces for the future. You know what I mean? With Jimmy Butler, basically.
Yeah, Tyler Herro there still.
Exactly. So like, I mean, no, I'm assuming that you get rid of Tyler Herro because somebody who I think would be okay with being a backup. Like, you'd have to send them to Boston.
I'm about to say they got. I mean, they still got Dragic on their team too.
Yeah. So like, you know what I mean. So you'd have to package a deal. I'm trying to think who they'd have to package to get rid of. What's that? I mean, If I'm Brandon Ingram, I'm telling you, man, if I'm Brandon Ingram, I'm gonna say it every podcast, man. This motherfucker just needs to go, man. I already see how this is going, dude. Like, he just needs to get the hell up out of that place, dude. You know what I mean? Find himself another place where he can win. You know what I mean? Like Memphis, Miami, I think is just the best place for him to go. If Miami could get him, if they get him and Spencer Dinwiddie, Jesus Christ, man. Like, that would be... I would, because you don't know if you're getting Giannis.
Mm-hmm. Nobody knows if he's leaving or not.
Exactly. But if you know you can get...
Because to be honest, if Giannis and then make the finals this year, like...
they probably will, too.
It's gonna be it's gonna be real hard to try to convince him to leave.
It depends on what happens.
I don't know. I don't think Giannis is the type of dude to want to be the villain. Because if he leaves Milwaukee and they go to the championship, they gonna be coming at Giannis, man. Everybody find what he doing right now because he's staying where he at. But if he leave, I don't know. I guess it depends on where he goes.
Oh no. Spencer Dinwiddie he's making $34 million right now, right? So if you get you wouldn't be able to do it. I'm tripping. I was tripping. I thought he was still... Never mind. Spence isn't going anywhere. Like, he's not going anywhere.
Why not?
$34 million. Well, no. I mean, his contract's... I'm dumb. I just read this completely wrong. It's 3 years, $34 million. So he's making $11 million a year. So they could definitely trade for him, right? So let's do trade machine. NBA trade machine. I just think if I'm Miami and I can get that guy, because they want to get rid of him anyway, right? But the problem is I don't think Miami has any first rounders anymore. So I'd have to think. I'm trying to think who would, like, maybe it'd have to be like a 3-team deal or some shit like that, dude. I don't know. I think it just had to be. I'm trying to think who like, how would it work? So let me give you a quick question, right? While I look up this stuff, right? So is Vince Carter a Hall of Famer?
Vince Carter a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
That's a really tough question. I cannot lie, because oh my God, that's a tough question. Is Vince Carter a Hall of Famer? I'm not gonna lie, just because of my love for Vince, I want to say yes, because I do love Vince Carter. But to be honest, his career is very lackluster when it comes to accomplishments. Rookie of the Year, made all rookie. He's an 8-time All-Star, and he was only 2 times All NBA. That's crazy. Let me look at his stats. He averaged, oh my God, he was averaging 27 in that year that AI took him out. 26 the year before. Vince Carter was so nice.
I don't think. All right, here's my problem with Vince Carter, right? Also, I don't think the All-Stars and All NBA should count against him, because people forget, like, he was a shooting guard, motherfucker. Kobe.
I know, he was there with Kobe.
Paul Pierce was in there as a shooting guard for a while. T-Mac.
Shit, Richard Hamilton was even in the league.
Dog, like,
that was the league of shooting guards during that time.
Oh, matter of fact, dog, let's not forget, what's the name was still, like, tail end of his prime, right? Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
So
and we can't also forget that after 2003, Wade entered the league.
Exactly. So you had Wade, and then Wade was pretty much it.
And he was still averaging good numbers even after that.
No, it's not even that. But I mean, like, to think that a guy who for a while was averaging 27, 24, 25, 24, like, to average those kind of numbers, right? 25 and stuff like that. But he only makes an All NBA team twice. That's why I remember I told you about Patrick Ewing and you know what I mean, and Dame Lillard. Like Vince Carter falls into that list, right? Like the guys who, you know what? That's the video we should make. We should make the Dame list or the Ewing list or something like that. I think that'll be one. You know what I mean? Guys who are underrated based on stats or based on achievements. Let me write that down for later. So yeah, no,
I'm gonna give my guy the nod. I'm gonna give my guy the nod because I'm not gonna lie, he played a great career. It was just just like you say, just like you be trying to say, he playing in the middle of he's playing in the middle of other people's era.
Yeah. Also,
that's really the problem. Because if imagine him in the 90s with MJ.
Oh, he's a freak.
Yeah, exactly. He gonna win a ring. He gonna win a ring.
My issue with him,
he didn't play no defense.
That's what I was about to say. Like, he was never much on defense, right? But
probably this is why Dominique type of player.
Yeah,
at that time.
I mean, you know what? Actually, that's like actually perfect, right? He's like Dominique, right? But I think I always said like the best place for him. Well, I mean, we did the video, right? Like the Scotty list, and you know, in that video, I said that the best place for him probably would have been, what we call it, the Timberwolves. You know, they had Tom, they had Gugliotta, you know what I mean, and KG. KG was never like super great. It was like really great offensively. That's another thing too. People like, I remember I made this argument that I was like, hey man, I think I think KG and Scottie Pippen are on the same tier of stars. And you know, people got mad. And I was like, dude, are you tripping? Like as like we were looking at the years where they were like the number one option, right? Like it was what I'm saying to myself. It's like, all right, well, both of these guys were averaging like KG only averaged, I think in most of his career was averaging like 24 points a game. I think you know what I mean, Pippen could have got to that. And you know, both of those guys were obviously more defensively inclined than they were offensively, and that's where I think like someone like KG would have worked really well with a Vince Carter, because you know, I mean, KG was already mentally tough, right? Like Scottie Pippen kind of needed Jordan for some of the toughness, and so he, you know, I mean, KG didn't need that, but KG needed someone who can just get a bucket. Like who can just like, you know what I mean, get their own shot and do whatever they want. And considering, you know, think about how progressive that offense would have been, dude. Like how futuristic, right? In 2003, you would have had Vince Carter who could shoot threes, power forward, an athletic power forward, and KG who has a really good mid-range, you know what I mean, who could pull away from like 15 feet, you know what I mean, spread the court out. I think that would have just worked well. You know what I mean, with that team. I think that team would have just been, and then you had Wally Zerbiak who can hit three, who was their sniper on the team. So I think like, I honestly believe like that would have probably been, you know what I mean, the scenario in which Vince Carter would have probably moved up. Like, I don't know if they would have ever won a title, but I think they could have at least like been, you know, in the Western Conference Finals, in that rotation between the Lakers, Spurs, and them, right? You know what I mean? I think
they would have definitely been in the conversation.
Yeah, so I'm just like, yeah, it would have been them, Spurs, and Phoenix, right, for a while. And I think that would have been the four teams in the West where you're like, oh shit, who's gonna win it? Who's gonna win it? And most likely it would have been the Lakers and the Spurs. But still, they would have at least like been in that conversation. I think his resume, because really the only thing you remember about him is his dunking. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He was a good shooter too.
He was an excellent shooter. He's a career, like, he's a career 37%, but like that's because like a lot of his averages just went down because like, you know, he's been playing for so long. But like coming off the bench, like averaging like 5 points and stuff like that, dude. But like in his prime, he was a 24 game guy, or like 24 like point a game guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just don't think like, you know, a guy like that. Yeah, I mean, I say he's in the Hall of Fame, but only because he had so much of an impact on the league. But it's kind of hard for me to, you can't justify it on numbers, right? Some of it's because, his numbers are depreciated quite a bit. Like, if somebody just says, like, oh, yeah, he averaged 16 points, they're going to say, what? What are you talking about? Glenn Rice should be in the league, right? Or it should be in the Hall of Fame. But I'm like, nah, that's not really the case. This dude played, like, 22 years, man. Like, why did he play this long? We don't know. But he played for, like, 22 years. And because of that, like, he played, like, 7 years longer than he really should have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So, it's just how it goes. But if he didn't, he would probably have averaged, like, his averages probably would have been around, like, 20 points. He probably would have been at, like, 39% and, like, 45, 46% from the field. Because he was he played close to the basket. So he was a really efficient scorer. So he was never, like, he was just a pure scorer. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have, like, the defensive mindset that Kobe had. But scoring-wise, I mean, Jesus, man. Like, him and T-Mac, dude. Like, you talk about could you imagine those two? Those two were on the team together. All I keep thinking was, like, damn, these fools could have been, like...
Right? Like, imagine I want to stay on the team with your cousin.
I just don't... I think it's, like, Harden, man. Like, he would have... Like, T-Mac would have just got wasted playing next to him, man. And it's not like one of them did, like, here's the problem, neither one of them did the opposite of each other, right? Like, I've always said, like, perfect duos, dude. Like, both of them are just like even on Houston right now, right? Like, at least Russ will play defense. You know what I mean? Russ will play defense. Like, both of them could drive, but, like, Russ is a slasher who can't shoot. I mean, James Harden can do everything, but, like, for the most part, he likes to play outside, right? So, he's going to want to do step back, fadeaway threes and stuff like that. So it's going to help Russ out with his, getting rebounds, going to, make it so Russ can drive. So they, like, I know people say they don't fit together because of the way they play, but, like, in retro, like, if you're really doing an analysis of it, like, you can say, like, all right, there is ways for this to work, based on their skill sets. So, I just don't know how him and Tracy McGrady would have ever worked. I think that would have just been bad. Altogether. But
just straight up scorers.
Yeah, straight up. Just scorers, no defense. Two guys that'll get you buckets. I mean, you mess around, they'd be dropping like 60. But, like,
T-Mac probably would have never became what he was today, because he definitely would have always been second fiddle.
That's what I'm saying. So he would have probably been James Harden, like in OKC, right? 6th man of the year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
All-star and all that stuff like that. But he wouldn't be what he is. And it's
weird.
It's
better for us as NBA fans that he moved on.
I am too. I'm happy that he did.
I'm happy. Yeah.
That team in Orlando could have been so much better if they could. Like, you could just every time somebody brings it up to T-Mac, how they could have got Tim Duncan if Doc Rivers would have just let his family get on the team planes. Like, you're just like, we could have had T-Mac, Tim Duncan, and Grant Hill on the same damn team. Even if Grant Hill gets hurt, like, you just look at,
right? Even with T-Mac and Duncan, that's a crazy duo.
Shit like that, like, makes you look at Doc and just say, how did you keep this job? Why did people keep letting you be a GM? Why did people keep letting you be the president of basketball operations? Why? Why did they let you do that? Like, why do they keep letting you do that? I would never let you do. Like, if after I heard that story, but hold on, we could have had KG, we could have had T-Mac, Duncan, and Grant Hill. We literally could have had the greatest power forward ever. Before injury, it looked like he was going to be the next Michael Jordan. And the other version of Michael Jordan on offense on our team. We could have had that. We could have had the Kobe equivalent on offense with T-Mac. We could have had basically a better version of Scottie Pippen minus the defense. Like, it was like Grant Hill wasn't as good a defender as Scottie. But we could have had that. And then we could have had the greatest power forward ever on the same team through the draft. I would have just walked up to Doc and just said, hey, man, so your resignation papers, right? Just let me know if you want me to help you write it. Right? You know what I mean? You know, I'm here for you. I want you to know I'm here for you, right? You know what I mean? But just like, you know, yo, I'd have went in that locker and I'd have packed. Yo, I would have packed him up like a nigga from jail coming out of jail. I'd have put that shit in the trash. Dog, told him to catch the bus. Fuck that.
Got to go.
Fuck, man. How do you let that happen, man? Man, I had that motherfucker. Yo, I'd have had him walking down the street like that old Hulk, we call TV show. Play the music for his ass. Man, I'd have been playing I'd have been playing Against the Wind every time he walked outside, like day after day. Like, I'd have just been, yo. Orlando should never not be mad at Doc Rivers. That should I would never not be mad because it wasn't like Duncan was asleep.
Completely unforgivable, right? Yeah. It wasn't even like he was he might be good. No, man, he was legit.
Dog, this wasn't Kawhi Leonard, bro. Like, oh, hindsight 2020. No, this was Timmy Duncan, dog. We knew he was gonna be special coming out. And then you just let the Spurs go. Anyway, whatever. There's moments in life. Quick thing. So I wanted to talk about Luol Deng because he retired last year, and this is like, I just remember him because I think I was in 8th grade when he was in people forget Luol Deng was the second best high school player after LeBron that year. Like, they were both in McDonald's. They were both high school seniors. He was the second best player in the country, high school player in the country behind LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like, he was the highest recruited guy out of high school. I just remember that dude was like, he was really good, really physical. Ironically, they played the same position.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what, like, he was one of those dudes where I just never understood how he just kept getting paid so much money. I just did not understand.
I ain't getting it either. I kind of understand why the Bulls did it. I don't get why the Lakers did it.
I didn't get it. Like, I never understood. Like, the Bulls, he was a good defender.
Did he get paid by the Heat too?
Oh, he got paid by the Heat. He got paid by the Lakers.
Yeah.
No, the Heat didn't give him a bunch of money. The Lakers gave him some cash. Okay. The Lakers was giving him bread, dude. Which was like,
I know it was the Lakers. I thought it might have been them too.
Yeah. Reason I'm bringing him up is because I remember how nasty it was. Because he was because I used to wrestle in high school, so I remember wrestling against Blair Academy. Blair Academy, when I was in high school, was legendary for wrestling, right? But they were also obviously an excellent basketball team. So I remember me and that dude. I never met. I never met him, but I used to see, like, whenever they had tournaments up there, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes, like, you would catch him in the court because they would just let him do whatever the fuck he wants. So, like, you would catch him in one of their other courts. But, like, he went to Blair Academy. He's from Jersey. Not from Jersey, from Sudan, but he played in Jersey, like Blair Academy. So, you know what I mean? Interesting thing, right? So, he never averaged over 20 points in his career, which isn't, like, a big indicator. You know what I mean? But he was a willing defender. He was a pretty good defender.
Great 3-and-D player. Somebody I definitely put on my team as a small forward. I'd be like, yep, give me some threes, play me some defense, lock up that dude right there.
He was an okay 3-and-D. Like, if you were trying to typecast him as a 3-and-D, he would have been all right. You know what I mean? He's only had, like, I'm trying to think when his attempts. Like, all right, so you can say he's a 34.5% 3-point shooter, right? Because the most attempts he ever took was 4, and it was twice he did it. So one time he shot 34%. The other one he shot like 36.5%, right? That's when he like had over like 4 attempts, right? Like 4 attempts and stuff like those are like his 2 best shooting years. I would say, like, I think the problem is he was a pretty smart player. I just don't understand how he finessed LA into all that money. Like, him and Moskov. Yeah, I think it was Timothy Moskov. They paid so much money like that year. They just paid him so much money and no one understood why. No one understood what happened. They're like, wait, what?
Moskov.
Yeah, man. Like, they just did Miami a favor. That's what it was. They just did Miami a super solid, man. It was just super crazy. So, anyway, shout out to the guy from the home state. You know what I mean? He had a good career. Like, Doug, I'm not gonna. Yeah, he played like what, 12 years?
Yeah, he played.
No. He played. So 06 to 18. Yeah, so he played about 12 years.
He had a good career. Very good finesse too.
Right. He was a good player. So I think, yeah, man, played some good seasons, man. He was a good player. I just don't think, wait, no, he played more than that. He played 14. I'm tripping. I knew I can't count. Why am I on this? I can't count, man. I'm just sitting here embarrassing myself on this podcast. Real talk. But yeah, nah, man. Luol Deng, I'm super happy for him, man. Congrats on his career. You know what I mean? Best of luck in the future. So here's the main event. We just got through the prelims. Main event, the question of the day. Hot takes. Tony Parker versus Allen Iverson. And
God, I even hate that people are making this an argument.
This is a tough one, man. This is actually tough. I mean, like,
this isn't tough for me in the slightest.
Me either, but I'm interested in who you go with.
I'm taking AI.
Okay, God bless you. God bless you, dude.
Imagine somebody taking Tony Parker, who had all the help in the world, over Allen Iverson.
There is a thing about there is a case because Tony Parker was able to work in the system. You know what I mean? Because he was able to work in the system. And it wasn't a system that benefited superstars. Like, San Antonio is not a place for superstars.
Sure isn't.
You know what I mean? It's a place for guys who are gonna make it, like, you know, who are just gonna work as a cog in a machine, right? So you're never gonna see like exorbitant numbers. Like, you're never gonna have like the 28 points a game, 26 points a game. So in 2006, 2007.
See, I even think if Tony Parker was on a team where they let him just unleash, I don't think he'd have been that type of player anyway. I think he would have been like a 20, 15 point per game with like 8-9 assists type of player.
No, I think he would have. No, because here it goes. There's one. He's had 1 year where he shot over 15, where he had over 15 attempts from the field, and he was averaging 22 a game. That was off of 17 shots. Right. Everything else, like every other season, is like 15 and below. Right. So, the other 2012-13, this is when they make it to the finals. 15 attempts. By the way, dude, that year, he was shooting over 52% from the field. 15 attempts, 52% from the field. Homeboy was dropping 20. Like, that's...
His floater is ridiculous.
Dog, not just that. Like, dude, his percentages are just so absurd.
I used to love watching that floater now. That's the one thing I love about Tony Parker.
He's a point guard shooting 49% from the field. Think about that. A point guard shooting 49% from the field. That's pretty damn like it. I mean, I think the thing that gives people an argument, right, is, the championships go out of it, but he was the best player on a championship team, even though that was a team where they should have steamrolled, right? Which they did. Like, it was LeBron's 07 Cavs, which were garbage juice. But, when you look at some of the things that are, you look at some of the things he did, you know what I mean? 4-time All-NBA. Again, he's not better than AI. It's just an interesting debate because his career, like, if I'm drafting players, right? Like, I'll give you an example, right? First of all, I don't think Steve Nash is better than AI, right? But if you're drafting a team, you probably would take Steve Nash before AI, right? Just because, like, you think like, oh, well, you know what I mean? I don't know how AI is going to do it. Like, we never got to see what AI looks like with a superstar, or with a sidekick, like with a superstar sidekick. We've seen it with Tony Parker, and he was great. Like, he was an efficient player, you know what I mean? Who probably would have better numbers. Like his assist numbers should be better, but the problem is like they were like hockey assists, dude. Like, you saw how, you know what I mean, the Spurs would swing the ball around. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like he was like, this is where the assist numbers lie to you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I mean, you can tell, like, dude, but that 2013 season, dude, like, I didn't even realize he was shooting over 52% from the field on 15 attempts. That's absurd. He's had a couple seasons. He had his 05-06 year, he was shooting almost 55% from the field. Then 06-07, he was shooting 52% from the field. Like, dude, and 52% from the field, 39, like almost 40%.
He's very efficient.
Yeah, so like, he's not like, this is what I'm talking about. This is the only case that Steve Nash and like Tony Parker would have against AI, right? Is that, oh, well, AI would score first, and you're not sure if you go, like, basically.
Man, look, if that's me, I'm taking that chance though. I'll take that chance to put AI with a superstar to see what he could do. I'll take that chance over picking Steve Nash first. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely will.
See, that's the weird thing, right? Like, people, because I remember I was watching The Ringer, right? Bill Simmons podcast, and they were doing the redraftables, and you know, they picked Steve Nash over AI. AI came in fourth. They did the 1996 draft, right? So obviously it was Kobe number one, right? And you would think, you know, like, Ray Allen is the one who I would, if I had to pick someone over AI, it would have been Ray Allen. Like, I would have been like, oh, this is definitely the guy I'm taking over. You know what I mean? If I had to take someone, like, if you told me you were going to take someone over Allen Iverson, it was going to be Ray Allen, right? Because that's just more defendable. You know what I mean? He's a shooting guard, someone who's going to have a 20-year career, who's going to be effective every career. Like, he's one of the greatest shooters that ever lived, right? Like, Steve Nash just had D'Antoni, and we saw what it looked like with Russell Westbrook with D'Antoni for a little bit, and we saw how, like, he was hitting 50%, over 50% from the field. He was basically steamrolling people because D'Antoni and point guards is like, he's made for them. So he made dude. Jeremy Lin got $100 million because of Mike D'Antoni.
Sure did.
All right. You know what I mean? Like, the Rockets definitely overpaid him, and then immediately got James Harden and realized, oh, yeah, we're just gonna trade Jeremy Lin to the Lakers. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, man. I don't think. I just don't, because Steve Nash wasn't that in Dallas. He wasn't. You know what I mean? They got rid of him. Phoenix comes in. Mike D'Antoni comes in with 7 seconds or less. Him and Sean Marion and all those guys, and like Rajah Bell and those people. They're out there, fast-paced offense and all that stuff like that, which is giving him a whole bunch of assists because he was a really good shooter and all that. But no, like, he's not better than AI. But that's the argument people make. People, they'll use that Tony Parker argument of, well, Tony Parker is a champion, which, people use that shit all the time. But the biggest one is Tony Parker has a finals MVP. Like, he was the best player on a finals team, which isn't true.
What's your argument against AI though? Like,
you
said you're not sure that he would be able to work with another superstar.
Yeah, no, I just don't think. I don't know. I'm saying that's the argument against him. Is that like, oh, I
don't know how that's an argument against him though. Like, people forget AI was a willing passer. I mean, he wasn't well, actually, to be honest, even out of his rookie year, he was a willing passer. But there were like 3 seasons where he averaged 7 assists a game with 25 points. I don't think there's going to be a question of whether he's willing to work with another superstar, because he didn't have other superstars really in his career, and he was still willing to pass the ball to the other role players. So, like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be willing to pass it to a superstar on the team.
Yeah, that's because the Sixers fucked up and didn't take Tracy McGrady when they should have.
That argument should be irrelevant. Him not being able to work with others.
Well, I mean, that's not the only one, right? Obviously, it's the inefficiency, which I think that plays into a factor when he's a smaller dude going up against really tall guys, and it's not like the 3-point was what it was now, right? So he was having to go in the paint and fight with the trees somehow,
and he had to shoot more shots because it was really just him.
Exactly.
So if he had to take less shots, he more than likely would be less tired on offense. So it would help him to be more efficient.
Right.
It's a lot of things that go into that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the stat nerds, right? Like, they're just gonna like pull the Tony Parker numbers, and Tony Parker's like, this is all right. This is the argument that people make when they say, a lot of. I think history is going to, unfortunately, put Chris Paul a little bit lower on the all-time list than he should be. I think Chris Paul is going to end up being, it's crazy to say this, but I think on the all-time ranking list 10 years from now, 15 years from now, Chris Paul is going to be like below Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? Or is going to be, or, Statner. Actually, no, because Chris Paul is like the shit when it comes to analytics, dude. Like, he's like, he is the man for analytics, dude. They might fuck around and call him the greatest point guard ever. Like real talk. Like, they might just do that. But yeah, I just don't think, I just don't think analytics tells a story, because Allen Iverson, man, he was just such an enigma, dude. Like, I'm telling people right now, he was Russell Westbrook on another stage, like another level. And this is where I always tell people too, with the argument of, could you do a 10-part documentary on LeBron? But like, no, because social media exists. You can't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like, Allen Iverson, like, anybody who doesn't remember, Allen Iverson was the equivalent of a rock star. Allen Iverson had more women watching basketball. Like, Allen Iverson was like the Teddy Pendergrass, Al Green of basketball.
This was facts. Yeah, that's facts.
Like, women loved him. You didn't have to know basketball. I've never seen so many number 3 Sixers jerseys in my life.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, that was, he had to have been the highest grossing jersey in NBA.
Oh, had to be.
And it was absurd, but he was such a character.
Dude had white kids with cornrows and earrings and headbands. Like, yo, he was a whole culture.
He was essentially a whole culture.
He brought a whole different culture to the NBA.
He's the reason they made, how like every great player has a rules change. They changed some rules. We're like, nah, you gotta wear suits out here now, bro. And so like, Allen Iverson's never gonna look good as far as analytics, right? So 42% from the field, all that stuff, you throw that shit out the window. But what Allen Iverson was, though, like, he was a dynamo. You know what I mean? And again, shooting guard. Like, I'm always gonna say he was a fucking shooting guard, dude. Like, he wasn't he was never a point guard. He was a shooting guard. And we should list him among shooting guards.
He should always be enlisted among shooting guards.
Yeah. But yeah, when it comes to him and Tony Parker, he's just a better player. I don't think Tony Parker had the offensive game that Allen Iverson had. I don't think he was even close. You know what I mean? Honestly enough, 3-time steals champ, 4-time scoring champ. Like, individually, this isn't a comparison, right? This is like Stockton and Barkley. right? Like Barkley was just better than Stockton, right?
Yeah,
Like
I mean, it's clearly obvious that Tony had the better career as far as like ring wise and things like that, but
right,
better player.
no,
We know who it is.
Yeah, the individual career, but I'm talking about like if you're picking for a team.
I'm still taking AI.
That's what I'm saying though. Like you know what I mean? Like because he was transcendent, but how transcendent was it? Because like the East then, dude, was so weak. Like you remember this, dude. Like every time, like the Western Conference Finals was the finals. That was pretty much it. Everyone knew they were getting. Everyone was coming out the East was getting smashed, was getting dogged, and that's pretty much how it went down.
Yeah, they really had no chance during the West.
Yeah, man. So like, it wasn't until 04 when Detroit came in and like just dominant, like, and Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, just kind of shot them out the game. Out the series. You know what I mean? In the most Westbrook-like way you could think of. It's funny too. Like Westbrook is Allen Iverson's flavor.
He really low key sold Gary Payton and Karl Malone out of a ring.
Yeah, he really did.
He really low key sold them out of a ring.
At least Gary Payton went and got one. Karl Malone was like, "Bruh, all you had to do was pass it to the invincible tank."
Didn't he get one with Miami?
Yeah, like Gary Payton did. Yeah, he got one in 06. Karl Malone did not, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know he like, if Kobe was alive, I know Karl Malone would be like, bruh, all you had to do was just pass it. Just pass it inside.
Like nobody on Detroit
you think
was guarding Shaq.
Yeah, right. You think Ben Wallace is going to stop this?
He was a beast.
Yeah, dude.
He was a beast, but this is a whole different animal.
Dude, we literally had an elephant on the court. like you give it to the damn elephant, man. What's gonna happen? But yeah, funny fact though. So like, Russell Westbrook is Allen Iverson's, Michael Jordan's, and Kobe Bryant's like favorite players. Like all of them, he's like their favorite player, which makes complete sense. Nothing but complete sense, right? Like how they love him, you know what I mean? But that's what I always said. That's why I keep telling you, man. Like guys like him, because you've seen, like, you got to have that talent though. Like there is a list, a tier, right? Like you got to have Allen Iverson, Kobe, Jordan level talent. You know what I mean? Within those degrees, in order to make the impact. That's why I keep saying that Russell Westbrook is gonna be in that conversation. Like no one's gonna forget Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson is an iconic player. Like he's never gonna be forgotten, right? Ray Allen isn't gonna be forgotten. Steve Nash is gonna be fucking forgotten. Like he's gonna be a really forgettable player. Like he's gonna be someone that only like deep dive NBA fans
people that actually watched that era.
Exactly.
Will remember Steve Nash, but if you didn't watch that era, you're not gonna remember.
Yeah, man. And
Steve Nash, he was a bad man. I cannot lie. He did not deserve those MVPs, but he was a bad man.
He was a really good player. He was a really good point.
Good. I mean, when he shot the ball, I used to love when he shot the ball because he shot that thing so high. His floaters were lovely too. I used to love his floaters.
Yeah, no. Like Steve Nash could shoot. Like that was the one thing. Like Steve Nash was somebody who you could drop off in today's NBA. He'd probably be even better.
Yeah,
he'd probably be shooting like 40% from the three. You know what I mean? Keep it real. 40%. He would be somebody that's like
the 3-pointer is highly looked upon now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, dude. He is somebody who I think, like, if you put him on, I'm trying to think, what kind of team would you put him on? Actually, you know who I'm hoping can be like this? Who could be like this if they they got their shot together? Because the passing skills are up there. You know what I mean? Is Lonzo. Like he's like a taller Steve Nash almost.
Yeah.
Right? But who could play defense? I guess Jason Kidd is probably the better comparison, right? Jason Kidd is a better comparison. He's like a little bit taller than Jason Kidd. You know what I mean?
I think you take the comparison to Nash because Nash can shoot and Lonzo's starting to find his shot a little bit more.
Yeah. And a lot earlier than Jason Kidd
in his first career.
Yeah. It took him a while before he can drop those threes and those mid ranges. But yeah, the point is,
he did it at the right time.
Yeah. yeah. That 60% from 3 that game 5. God damn. Like, so nah, man. All I'm saying though is that yeah, AI, dude, like, yeah, AI was a vibe. That's what he was. You know, you watch an AI game, that was a vibe. You know what I mean? Like you'd watch AI, especially after that game. The game one versus this is what I'm talking about. AI's never won a fucking title. He's never won a title. He's only ever gotten to 1 finals. And because he did the most gutter shit, stepping over Ty Lue. And not only in front of Ty Lue. Here's the problem. He stepped over Ty Lue in front of their fucking bench. Like their whole bench, their whole team. And he didn't do it like, oh my bad, let me just get over you real quick. No, he did it mad exaggerated.
If that was my dad, yo, I'm trolling him. Every time I look at him, I'm gonna just look and shake my head and he gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like, you really let him do that.
Daily messages. I mean,
now look what I have to go through. Every time I fall on the floor in the game, somebody try to step over me.
Yo, bro. I mean, but Tyler, I mean, shit. He won titles as a player, and I'm telling you, man, these point guard guys. I'm
not gonna lie, he played Iverson just as best as you could during that play, though. I cannot lie.
Oh yeah,
he was on Iverson as well as you could be on him. Don't think just because Iverson cooked him, don't think he wasn't.
No, but that's the thing though. Iverson was just nasty. Like he
couldn't. Was like, oh my god, there's nothing you can do. He made Kobe watch videos.
What did Kobe do? Kobe said
he watched shark videos.
The shark chasing seals to try to understand. Like what is up, my man?
That is next level greatness when you make somebody, and then especially it being Kobe. Do that
all the people, right? Like he's like, yeah, I need.
Kobe ain't do no homework on nobody like that.
Like who is he? I think the only person. Yeah, I think there's like a select few of people that he probably would have done that with.
Kobe might not have. Kobe might not slept that night after they lost. Kobe
probably like Kobe now. Wait a minute. They call it Tyronn Lue's nickname is Lou Hefner.
Never heard that. I heard like Sweet Lou or something like that.
That's crazy.
Actually, no, that's Lou Williams.
Yeah, that's Lou Williams. But his name is Lou Hefner? Nah, son, nah. We trolling. We tripping, right? we not. This ain't really it. This ain't really
it. They called this nigga Lou Hefner. Oh my god. I can't believe it.
I hate everybody. Like, what is his name, dog?
Like, who made Basketball Reference? We need to talk,
bruh. I need confirmation of this. I need confirmation. This is literally watch. We're gonna make a whole podcast based off of like how did Tyronn Lue get the name Lou Hefner? That is, yo. I gotta look up some of these crazy nicknames, man. Some of these dudes like Allen Iverson,
like Lou Hefner. So did Tyronn Lue really had picks like that? Like
probably.
That's what makes me wonder. I'm like,
yo,
he couldn't have had that nickname for no reason. Right? And then why would you give that nickname to somebody that got stepped over like that?
Exactly.
And Basketball Reference was made after it all happened. So
yeah.
So they know something we don't.
Yeah, everybody over there is like, no. What was his nickname? Oh, Lou Hefner. Lou Hefner. Hold on. What's some stories here? Man. I mean, he was young think about it. He was the youngest dude on a championship team. He didn't look like AI, but he didn't look like AI at all. But you know what I mean?
It was just the braids. It was just the braids.
You know, I felt like, I swear to God, dog. I felt like back in the day, if you had braids, dog, like you could just like you could wear you could do some UGG shit and get away with it. Like you could wear like thong sandals with socks and still get the prettiest girl in the room somehow. You know what I mean? I never had.
That's how high braids were looked upon in that era. Though it was really how it was. I know Richard Hamilton had braids.
Everybody did for a while. Like even Stephen Jackson did. Yeah, Melo had braids. I think LeBron's like the one of the dudes that didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? LeBron and what do you call it? Dwayne Wade.
LeBron and Dwayne Wade, by the time they were in, Iverson cut his, and so did Rip. So that era was gone.
True.
If they'd have came like 98, 97, they might have had him.
I mean, Melo still has some like this. That does seem like Melo, right? Like everybody else is ahead of the curve before him. Yeah. You know what I mean? What's the name? Chris Bosh was always ahead of the curve. You know what I mean? Had the dreads early. You know what I mean? The Raptors. I'm telling you, he was born 10 years too early, man. He was, you know what I mean? He pulled him out the oven too quick. He needed to be out right now. He'd be perfect for this era.
He would.
He would literally be perfect. He's like, damn, shooting threes like that. I wish I would have been playing now.
Like, letting that thing fly.
He'd have been in there like knocking. He'd have had the same numbers. He'd have been like 20, 24 and 3, but he would have been like he'd have been taking like 5 threes a game or some shit. Yeah, I mean, look, Allen Iverson, obviously the better player. It's just an interesting topic because, like, would you rather be Tony Parker or Allen Iverson?
I'd rather be Iverson.
Yeah,
I understand. I'm not gonna lie. I understand why people would say Tony Parker. I completely understand because he did play with an excellent franchise. Like, think about it. You were winning your whole career,
literally.
Like you weren't winning championships every year, but you were in the conversation every year. What was it? The Spurs had they had a lot. They broke the record for I think 50 win seasons, or they got the most 50 win seasons.
That and
consecutively.
We call it consecutive trips to the playoffs. It's a bunch of records that the Spurs have now.
Yeah, like you were with a great organization. You played with a Hall of Fame coach. Like, I can completely understand why somebody would say they want to take Tony Parker's career.
Right. And I mean, I think a lot of it is just the fact that he was willing to, you know, not willing to, but like he just fit in a system and he was just absurdly efficient. Like, I got to think if there's another like point guard who's ever been that efficient. Like, I've never heard of a point guard being that efficient, dude. Because I know Chris Paul is like beloved by analytics, right? So it's like, I'm interested if Chris Paul. I don't think Chris Paul's up there. I think Chris Paul's probably like 46% or something like that. But he's just. I've never looked at his numbers. I've never looked at Tony Parker's numbers. But the fact that you're a career 49% from the field. Oh no, career. What do you call it? Yeah, Chris Paul's were a career 47%. You know what I mean? So even more efficient than the point guard. You know what I mean? Although not as good of a 3-point shooter as him. It's gonna be interesting because, like, where do you rank Tony Parker among point guards? Is he in your top 10? Does he crack the top 10? Do you think? No. I think he's like 12.
Yeah, I think he's just outside. That's probably be the safest bet.
Because like the point guards, I mean, that's pretty tough, man.
Because you got Magic, Curry, Stockton, Isaiah, Oscar Kidd, CP3, Westbrook. I don't even know how many that is right there.
Shit, I'm trying to think. Walt Frazier.
You can even put Penny above him.
Oh no, I think the injury is like. I don't think so. I think like that. I know you gotta love Penny, but like Penny and him, they're. I don't think so. I think Tony, like career wise, it's like pretty clear that Tony's. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't, Penny was always the second best player on the team, right? Gonna average you like 18 and 7 or some shit like that.
Actually, the way it's looking, he might crack top 10. Shit.
Who? Tony? No, he's not.
Who do we name off?
All right, so I'll go through it. Matter of fact, I'll write them down. So we have Magic.
We ain't even got to order them. We just Magic. Yeah. I know Magic, Steph.
Yeah, Steph. You know, I'm putting my boy in there. Russ.
CP3, John Stockton, Isaiah Thomas, Jason Kidd,
Nash.
Yeah. Are Nash and Parker an argument though?
No. Just because like the two, even as fraudulent as they are, like just looking at them, the Finals MVPs are just gonna the league MVPs, the two of them back to back during a Kobe, LeBron. Like LeBron was scoring 30 that year. Like that's the thing. Like it wasn't like, you know what I mean. Like LeBron wasn't. You know what I mean. So
how many are we at now?
Right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got Walt Frazier definitely ahead of him.
Okay. Now who
what do we call it? What do you call it? Like I guess are we gonna count like the old school guys like the Kuzis and stuff like that or not?
I mean, we do have to. That's so tough to say whether to put them in or not because they are part of the NBA, but we never seen anything.
I just never got to watch them.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to keep Kuzi out just because
I
can't really speak on him. People say he was great, but you know,
I mean, it was him and Bill Russell. Right?
Yeah,
that was the. So that was the guys, right? So
would you say Tony was better than Kidd?
Hell no. No.
We didn't have.
Oh, Gary Payton too. I completely forgot about Gary Payton. We almost got ourselves in some trouble. Oh yeah, Oscar Robertson, Gary Payton.
Oh, I said Oscar Robertson.
Did you? I didn't write him down. My bad. Mm-hmm. Big O. What's what I have in here? I'm trying to think. Who else? There's a bunch of point guards that I'm fucking forgetting, man.
I don't know. I don't think we're forgetting really anybody. I was just on there. I was just looking at him.
I think the conversation is between him and Chauncey, right? Chauncey's like another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Yeah, sorry. Sorry about that. Yelling at my neighbors, man. I hate doing that. Then I gotta go fucking search. Oh my god! Hold on a second.
They about to make this man go off.
I'm telling you, they're just trolling me, man.
Oh,
all right.
We can't put Jerry West on there because we ain't never seen him play.
Nah.
I mean, technically, we didn't see Oscar play neither. But I mean,
he's just so legendary. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's just like everybody knows about Oscar.
He's definitely better than Kevin Johnson. The thing is, though, he's gonna get bumped out during this because of this era, though.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna get bumped out.
You know what I mean? Because Dame Lillard, if he makes, there's Tiny Archibald. I don't think Tiny is better. There's Maurice Cheeks. I don't know about that. Yeah.
I think it's anybody else really.
I'm trying to think who I would put ahead of him. Yeah, I don't know.
So how many is that right there?
Hold on a sec. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's 10. So he's right outside, just like you said. He's 11.
Oh, yep, perfect.
So, yeah. So he's definitely good. Yeah, because he's definitely not better than. Yeah, like just to go, like who's the most questionable? In my opinion, is Steve Nash, right? He's the one that is the most Well, Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Because like the first, I'm being damn it, wait, Isaiah Thomas, Jesus Christ, I ain't even put him on there. Yeah, he's not.
Isaiah. That's tough.
I'm not smart, man. I never claimed to be. But yeah, so it's Isaiah Thomas. All right, so all right. So we might as well try to do this in order, right? I'm interested. So there's Magic. There's obviously I got Isaiah second.
Yeah.
So Magic, Zeke, and then Steph is probably third.
Yeah.
And then probably Big O is right after that. I think those are like the four. And then from there it starts to get a little interesting. I
would put CP3 next.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably would. I probably would put CP3 next. I think right after him is. See, this is the thing.
I got a lot of respect for that New Orleans CP3.
Yeah, but here's my issue, right? CP3 is the only one of those. Like, he's CP3 and Magic. I know Zeke was a pass. Isaiah was like turned into a pass first guy, but like CP3 and Magic are probably the only two guys that I would put above Russ right now, right? Like maybe Jason Kidd, but I just I don't like. I know the assist numbers. I know everybody's gonna tell me like with the this guy's more efficient and all this shit like that, dude. Russell Westbrook's a nuclear warhead. That's what he is. No one on this list can do what he does. Like that has to mean something. That has to count for something. Like nobody on this list can even approach doing what he can do. Nobody can fly like he can. No one's as fast as he can. Outside of Kidd and maybe Gary Payton, I don't think there's a single one of these point guards who's stronger than him. Maybe Magic because he was so much bigger. But so there's Magic. There's Payton maybe. Kidd definitely. Kidd was strong as fuck. Like you ever see Kidd just guarding fucking small forwards? Just pushing people around. The Kidd was strong as hell. So you know what I mean? I just don't think anyone. There's no one on that. I would even argue him above Chris Paul. I'm just gonna keep it real. I would even argue that because like. Averaging like the 3 triple doubles, man. That's signature, dude. That's legendary. You don't just ignore those type of things, right? And then on top of that was Chris, who like I just think like on worse teams, Russ is gonna give you more. Like Chris Paul right now he's on the Thunder, right? So he's doing great. But that Thunder team is actually really good. Like that Thunder team has some really good pieces right now. You know what I mean? If we look at that roster, like all these guys, yeah, they still. I mean, you have guys. You have Shai Gilgeous, obviously. You have Schroeder, Gallinari, which is weird how they all of a sudden have a whole bunch of 3-point shooters on their team. Like Gallinari is hitting 40% for 3. While shooting 7 of them. I just want that to be recognized. Like the difference it makes when you have one person. He's having 19 points a game, 19 points a game, 17 points a game, 19 points a game, right? You have 4 dudes. Schroeder is going for 19 a game, 19 and 4. Shai Gilgeous is going for 19 and 19 and 6. Chris Paul is going for 17 and 6. Like Steven Adams is the one that took the hit because Russ left, right? Like now he's gone down to 10 points a game. You know what I mean? Not that many rebounds, like 10 and 9. So I just think I think on a bad team, on a team that's not great, I just think Russ is just gonna do more for my team. You know what I mean? He could be the entire offense. He could be all this stuff. Like those New Orleans teams had some good players on there. Like if I was to pull this shit out, because neither one of these guys, as the best player on a team, take you anywhere, right? Like that's kind of been settled between the two of them. Like Russ probably still has a chance, but for Chris Paul, it's probably been settled, right? Like he's not the best player on your championship team. Like he's the second best player, right? So I'm trying to think of but like as the best player on a team. What was it? I forgot. What year was it? Was New Orleans was hitting on all cylinders? Was it 2011? 2010? I think that was it, right? Or was it 2000? I can't remember. Anyway, so he had a season. He was going for 22-11, right? I think that was probably his best season. Let's look this up because when did he make it out the first round? I'm trying to think. When he made it out the first round? I don't think he ever made it out the first round with his team. So, all right, here we go. So he gets to the Western Conference semifinals. Basketball Reference is tripping right now. Like it's just going into like. There it is. Okay, so he makes it to the semifinals against the Spurs with the Hornets in 2007. Right? On that team, they had fucking David West. Like, I want you to think about this team right now. They had David West, Tyson Chandler, Peja Stojakovic on that team. On that team. All right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You even had Morris Peterson giving you 40% from three.
OP.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like they definitely weren't gonna win that second series, right? But no, man, like, you know what I mean? They ended up they gentlemen sweep the Mavericks in 2007, right? Somehow. And then
talk about it.
Yeah, no. And then they lose to 7 against who would have been the champions. You know what I mean? Who eventually, I think they weren't the champs, who could have been the champs, but like they ended up, you know what I mean, Spurs lost to the Lakers. I'm looking at that team. David West, who gets really undervalued. David West was averaging 20. Peja was still hitting for 16, you know what I mean, 44% from three on damn near 7 attempts, which is like fucking sick, right?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Tyson Chandler is your defensive stalwart, right? Like, he's always been a defensive stalwart. So, that's a team that's really built for him. You know what I mean? That's a team that he can succeed with. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm always interested. What would have happened if Peja and like Gallinari and all those people are built around him? It feels like he's always has the right team built around him. You know what I mean? It just felt like Russell Westbrook never had the right team built around him because he was always the second guy. So then like they kind of like rush built a team for him for 2 years. I don't know. I would just make the argument that I just personally think that Russell Westbrook was just better at, you know what I mean, than Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul as a point guard is better than Russ, right? Like definitively better. But as a just raw talent, oh no, it's not even close. Like Russell Westbrook is a freak. Like no, I don't think Chris Paul is better than him. But again, like I won't, like, I'm not gonna fight you on it, but after Chris Paul, That is the only person I'm putting above Russ. Maybe Walt Frazier. I'm tripping. Walt Frazier did win a title. Walt Frazier should be ahead of all those guys. Come to think of it.
Yeah, unlikely.
So, but you see what I'm talking about? You see how I just forgot about Walt Frazier?
Like, man, it's forgettable.
I forgot. I was like, wait a minute. He didn't win a title with the Knicks, dude. I'm tripping. You know what I mean? You take Walt Frazier could ball. But that's what I'm talking about, dude. Like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, right? Like, who gonna remember this shit? I'm telling you, dude. Like, the only people that are gonna get remembered are the marquee names. Yeah, 2-time champion with the Knicks, obviously.
So what's the ranking on him? So is he going? So basically, he's 5.
Yeah, he's 5.
Frazier. So who's 6?
Oh,
so I'm about to say 6. If you switch him up, it's going to be either Chris Paul or Russ.
Yeah, so it's 1 or 2.
So 6 and 7 is interchangeable between them two.
Yeah, for me it is. For me it is, yeah. So I don't know. It's weird because
who's left on the list from
Stockton,
from
Nash, Kidd, Gary Payton. There you go.
Stockton, Nash, Kidd, Gary Payton. I'm gonna have to take Stockton, then Payton, and then Nash. Damn, it hurt. Damn, it hurts to have Gary so high.
Nah, Gary Payton was.
He was nice, but as time goes on.
Yeah, but Gary Payton was the best player on a championship roster. Like, he just ended up meeting up with the Bulls, right? He's like James Harden. Like, James Harden, as a shooting guard, can always, like, put himself above a lot of people because he was the best player on a championship roster that just met up with the best team in NBA history. You know what I mean? So, that's pretty much what Gary Payton said. Like, Gary Payton's like, holy shit. I could have been the best player on a championship roster, but I met up with the fucking death lineup of Bulls. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. All right, so we got Russ. All right, so right now we have Magic, Zeke, Steph, Big O, Walter Frazier, Chris Paul, Russ, you have Stockton and Payton. And I guess the last 2 right now is between Nash and Kidd, which is ironic. I would personally put Kidd above Nash, but it's up to you.
That one's tough, but yeah, I'm taking Kidd. I always liked Kidd more than Nash.
I did too. Kidd was a better defender.
Yeah, he's 6'4", he's a bigger body, stronger. He gonna get rebounds for you. He's gonna do just about the same things that. He's going to get you the same numbers as Steve Nash. It's just Steve Nash can actually shoot the ball better. Kidd would have got his buckets in the paint, mid-range a little bit. But they would get about the same production.
Yeah, straight up.
I just like Kidd because of the height. The defense makes a difference.
Oh, the defense is a big difference. Like, he, on this list, him, Gary Payton, and Chris Paul are probably the 3 best defenders. You know what I mean? On this list.
So then it would just be Nash and then Tony.
Yeah, Nash and Tony Parker. Yeah, because Tony Parker isn't better than Steve Nash. Although you actually, it's rough. All right, so I can't say that because Steve Nash was the best player on a championship roster. Right, on a championship roster. Tony Parker was the second best player on a championship roster. However, Steve Nash being the second best player on your Mavs team wasn't getting you a goddamn place. So it's kind of like, you know how like people typecast like, oh, if you're like AI or Russ, you're not someone we can put on a championship team, but you have to be like Chris Paul or Jason Kidd or Steve Nash, right? Steve Nash and Chris Paul are those type of players, but they're not good as the best players on championship rosters, right? Like that LA Clippers team should be held against, you know what I mean, Chris Paul quite a bit. I know injuries happen, but you know, there's a couple like meltdowns that didn't have to happen for those Clippers. And the same thing with Nash. Like, these guys, they had rosters constructed around them. You know what I mean? They had the perfect, like, they had literally, you had almost identical rosters when you think about it, right? Like the two high flying teams. I just don't I don't know. Tony Parker was a part of a system. Nash was the best player on their team. You know what I mean? They had Amari and they had better scores, but Nash was their best player. Like, he was their lead guy. And they made it to I don't know. It's rough. It's rough. Tony Parker, I mean, he's not better than Steve Nash, but also I don't like Steve Nash. I just don't like Steve Nash anyway. I hate how people fucking gas him up so much, man. Like, he wasn't, like, he was like D'Antoni, like, dog, nah, man. People gas him up way too fucking much, man. Like, they hype that man up way too much. Like, he's not what people keep trying to make him out to be, man. He was a really good player. He was a really great player. He's definitely a Hall of Famer and all that, but he's not like what they're trying to make him out to be, dog. Like, he's not better than Russ. He's not better than Jason Kidd. Damn sure ain't better than, you know what I mean, than Walt Frazier. Like, people try to put him like fourth or fifth. People try to put him ahead of Zeke, of Isaiah Thomas.
Never heard of that before.
Yo, bro, let me tell you something. Internet people are something else, man. You could tell who watched games and who didn't. Like, that's the real thing. You could just tell who watched games and who didn't. Because while Steve Nash was great, you know what I mean, and he was obviously a great player. You know what I mean? And when I watched him, and especially now knowing how the effect D'Antoni has on point guards, on like ball handlers, it's unreal. Like, Jeremy Lin was gonna be a superstar. He was potentially a superstar with Mike D'Antoni, and he becomes a rotation piece everywhere else. Like, if no one remembers, Jeremy Lin was hitting game winners in Toronto. Like, he was hitting game winners, bro. Like, he was waving off Amari Stoudemire and Tyson Chandler to take the last second shot in Toronto. And he hit that three. I think, who was it on? Ricky Rubio? Who was it? Who did he hit that three on? Was it on Rudy Gay or somebody? He hit it on somebody where he took him one-on-one on the top of the key and then hit that three right in his face. And you're like, oh shit. You thought he was a superstar. And then Steve Nash gets like traded out of the Mavs and then like wins 2 MVPs with D'Antoni. Like, D'Antoni, he's like Andy Reid. He's what Andy Reid is to quarterbacks, dude. Like, so it's like steroids. So I just can't in good conscience put anyone that's played under D'Antoni for a significant amount of time like ahead of Russ. Like, I just feel like that's like a fucking penalty. Anyway, yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for us. I think we hit all the topics. We definitely hit all the topics.
We did.
Yeah. We just kind of went on a tangent with this Magic list. Or not the Magic list, with this point guard list. But yeah, all right. Appreciate you guys' time. This is NBA Warzone podcast. Sorry about the delay with the last video. Like I said, we a little bit of technical difficulties, but we got you guys and we'll catch you next time.
All right.